Okay, let's talk about how we can, again, use our general form of that equation for our linear functions to find this rule. All right, so we're going to have a look at some different graphs, just a couple. Here's a graph here. You can see it's a linear equation. I've got a couple of points. So how can I use my understanding of the general form of y equals mx plus c to come up with the specific rule for that particular line? That's what we're looking to do. Okay, so first of all, we'll need to express our m in terms of the rise and the run. So let's have a look at what our, in this, that we can see right now what would be the rise and the run. Okay, so if I'm flying in on my imaginary red UFO here, and I hit this point, and I don't actually really have a positive rise this time. I actually have a negative rise. So that means that my rise will be a negative number. So how many negative numbers down do I go? Well, I can see I'm going from 4 down to 2. So my rise will be a negative 2. Very good. I can do my run just like I normally would, and I am moving from this point here, and I'm moving from, well, that would be 3, and I'm moving to 5. So it will be negative 2 over 2. That's what I have. I can bring that down to be just negative 1. The next thing I need is the plus c. I need this particular number here, the constant, and I know that that number represents where this line will cross that y-axis. My line here doesn't go that far, so I actually need to extend my line. So I will choose to extend my line, and it will cross the y-axis, or at 7. That will mean that my y-intercept is at 7, positive 7. So I can put this all together now, this information that I have for my rise and my y-intercept, and I can tell you that my general formula will be equal to negative 1x plus 7. But we don't really write negative 1. We don't normally write that 1 in front of our pronumerals, simply because we understand that that is always there. So it's just negative x plus 7. Let's have a look at another example. Here I have another graph. So let me show you the graph. You can see a little peak down here of something that's coming up when we find the y-intercept. But here we have a graph. We can see that this is the origin point all the way up here. We've got a fair amount of, we've got enough information that we can do this. So let's think about what we're going to do. So the first thing we are going to need is we're going to need here's the general formula, y equals mx plus c. We definitely need to remember that that's what we're dealing with, that's what we're starting with. We need to figure out our rise and our run. We need to figure out our gradient value. So here I can see that, once again, flying in on my imaginary UFO, I hit this point and I don't have a positive rise. Again, I have a negative rise. So how far down do I actually go? Well, I'm going from negative 1 down to negative 3, which is a negative 2 for my rise. And my run is actually moving from negative 3 all the way up to positive 3. So it will be 6. Okay, so it'll be negative 2 over 6. That's what we've got. So when we bring that down, it will be negative 1/3. And you can normally express these gradients as a fraction. You can express them as a decimal, but fraction's probably more appropriate. Let's also look at where our y intercept is. We can see that my linear function here, my line, is crossing at negative 2. So that will mean that my y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, so let's put this all together and come up with what our rule will be. And it will be the gradient negative 3x minus 2. Okay, so that is about how we can use a line a linear function drawn on a graph, to actually come up with what is the rule, the algebraic rule for that particular line.